Hello Dover Year 6, it's Miss Banks here. Welcome back to our online learning. Today in our writing lesson and for the rest of this week we are going to be learning about persuasive writing and you're going to be writing a persuasive letter. So, what is persuasive writing? Persuasive writing is used to convince or persuade a reader that the writer's opinion of a topic or cause is correct. And your task this week is going to be to imagine that you're a child in the Victorian times and you're going to be writing a persuasive letter to the Victorian Times newspaper to raise public awareness about children working in workhouses and to plead for public support for this to be banned. So this task links in to the book that you're currently reading, Street Child. So let's have a look what we need in our persuasive letter. We need the recipient name and address, your name and address, the long date. Now on your Google Classroom you'll see that there's an attached template that you can use that's got the newspaper address in and you can add in your own bits. You need an introduction and this needs to state who you are and why you are writing to the newspaper and what your argument is. Each paragraph needs to state a reason or opinion and this then needs to be backed up by some evidence. Your letter needs to point out your arguments, but you also should be making reference to some counter-arguments to show that you've considered both sides carefully, and I'm going to talk more about that in a minute. You need to be using emotive language to really make the reader want to take action, so using words such as barbaric or saying things such as those poor helpless children who are forced to do hours and hours of dangerous work every day. You can also use personal experience to help persuade the reader, so you might want to pretend that your brother who was also working in the workhouse, that he died, or etc. Anything like that to actually make the readers who are reading the newspaper want to take action. That is your job. We need to have facts and evidence to support your viewpoint. Persuasive devices, so saying things like obviously and without doubt. Rhetorical questions can be powerful and they can really make the reader think. Powerful adjectives, so saying things like devastating, or that it was excruciating, that the children's pain was excruciating. A variety of sentence openers, for example, some believe that, in my opinion, for this reason, I feel that, surely, etc. And a strong concluding paragraph that sums up the main argument. So the structure for your letter. We've said you need an introduction. So this is going to be an opening paragraph that informs the reader who you are, why you are writing, and clearly states your opinion on the matter. Your main body, this forms the volume of the persuasion and includes your arguments along with evidence to support each argument. In the main body, you need to make reference to counter-arguments to show you've considered all aspects, but you need to make it clear that the positives of your suggestions clearly outweigh the negatives. For example, you could say something like, I appreciate that banning children in workhouses will mean that less work will be done, but it would allow more children to be at school gaining an education, which in the longer term will bring many benefits and boost the economy. Your conclusion, it needs to be a strong and cohesive summary, restating the action you wish to be taken, as well as summarising your main arguments that you've put forward. Some possible arguments that you might want to include could be things such as innocent children are being injured and some even being killed. The children have very little food, so they're starving. Children get very little or no money for doing such hard and often dangerous jobs. They're working very long hours with no breaks. They're often mistreated and beaten. Children should have a right to a normal childhood where they can safely develop and grow, and working in a workhouse does not facilitate this. Okay, so I've made a word bank just with some possible words that you might want to include to add some quality to your letter. So when you're talking about the children being poor, Some other words could be needy, penniless, destitute, impoverished, deprived, poverty-stricken. When you're asking for the readers to take action, you could be saying things like implore, plead, beg, urge, request, appeal. And when you're talking about the workhouses, they should be banned, abolish, outlaw, prohibit. Another word bank for the word wrong. So lots of things you're going to be talking about are going to be saying how wrong it is, what is going on. So things like inhumane, heartless, immoral, horrendous, disgusting, unpleasant, dreadful, shocking, scandalous, offensive, uncivilized, barbaric. All of those words that are on the screen right now and on the last slide, they're really, really good words to be using. Obviously, use a thesaurus, use your imagination and your brain. We've done loads of work on finding synonyms, so that's what you want to be trying to do. I hope this presentation helps you understand what your task is and how you're going to structure your lesson. It's very clear on Google Classroom what I'm expecting you to do each day through the course of the week to build up to having your final letter complete. Any questions, let me know. Good luck, enjoy. Stay tuned for the new video soon. Bye.